What's up, you guys? Dr. Jeff. Take responsibility. It's the name of this Facebook Live for tonight. So, we've all been talking about, with this coronavirus, how everybody's taking responsibility, personal responsibility and trying to be safe and not get everybody else infected. So, I thought it was a good opportunity to talk about your own process, about being responsible for yourself emotionally, psychologically, all these different ways. Now, there's people that have unresolved trauma, right? And that's something that we really need to address because unresolved trauma will impact your life and it will force you to make decisions that are not the best decisions. And it's almost like subconsciously happening. So, if I was abused as a kid, my whole childhood, and let's say, I've never addressed that. Well, I'm going to be reluctant to open up to people. I'm not going to trust many people. I'm probably not going to have good relationships. I'm also probably going to pick people for relationships that will abuse me or neglect me or abandon me, right? Because that's what I'm used to, and that's what I'm sort of expecting. So what's really important is for those of us that have unresolved trauma, and most of us know there's something there. It's actually, the folklore of trauma, right? The mythology of trauma is that everybody has these things that they don't remember, right? Now, there are cases like that. Absolutely. There are cases where the trauma was so horrific that it was blocked, and that's a real thing. However, most of us know that we went through some rough times. And we might not have all the details about it, which is okay. But we do have the knowledge that there was a rough upbringing or a rough event or a certain situation that was problematic. Now, when a blackout occurs during trauma, that's for survival. That's in order to protect us, and that's to keep our emotions out of the picture so that we can survive behaviorally. So what happens then is that when people feel okay, well, I need to do trauma work, I don't want to relive all these things that happened. Well, the good news is that's not necessarily what occurs. For some people it does, but most people it does not. What is happening in trauma therapy and trauma resolution is that the emotions that were not felt at that time because they were overwhelming, scary, or dangerous, those emotions surface and then we feel them. And we feel all this turmoil and pain and sadness and anger and fear and all this stuff. And it's a scary thing to look down the road and go, okay, I'm gonna get myself involved in a situation where I'm gonna feel that way therapeutically because it's very scary. Now, there's only a certain set of environments where that's really doable. In my opinion, my clinical background is what I'm speaking from, is that you can do that in a really safe, trusting, therapeutic environment. You can do that in an inpatient facility. You can do it with family that are loving and supportive. You can do it with therapists. You can do it in a plant medicine session at Rythmia. It's another place you can do it. And the reason why it's important to have a safe environment to do trauma work is because if you're worried about what's going on around you, or you don't trust the people around you, or you don't know what's going to happen around you, then it's really hard to let go. It's really hard to go deep and let these emotions surface and let them come out. So when people come to Rythmia, what we do intentionally is that from the minute that we pick you up at the airport and we drive you to Rythmia, and the minute you get off the shuttle and you go in and you check in, you meet with me or Dr. Arturo or Fiona, you get your medical intake with the nurses, and you have lunch or whatever. All of that is meant to introduce you to the staff and also to get you to know the property and to get you to feel comfortable in your surroundings and to get to know them a little bit, the people and the environment. Because we know that if it's on a Saturday or a Sunday when you check in, we know that we got about 2 days or maybe 3 when you're going to be doing plant medicine to resolve trauma. And you need to feel that you're aware of the environment and that you know the people around you. So we have you meet everybody. We have you meet Jerry. We have you meet the shamans. We have you meet some of the staff in the restaurant. We help you feel comfortable, get you a massage, have you do a cleanse, right? All these things. That's because we know that you're scared and we know that you're nervous about doing this trauma work. So we want to make sure that we get everybody feeling safe and everybody's all in there chilling, ready to go. That's the big part of it. Now, a lot of people that don't have, let's say, unresolved trauma, maybe they've worked through it already, or maybe it wasn't maybe that horrific and it wasn't traumatic, but they like to be the victim, right? We all know how that goes. We've all been there. We've all played that role a bit. And being a victim suits us sometimes because it gives us a pass to have bad behavior. And the bad behavior can be drug or alcohol abuse. The bad behavior could be self-pity, negative self-talk, avoidant of things that are important for us, not succeeding in life because we don't deserve it or some nonsense like that, right? So being a victim is hurting no one but yourself, and you got to snap out of that. There's nothing more draining to friends and family and to yourself than being a victim all the time. Now, that's why I want to talk about trauma first, because people that are in a victim role, some of them have unresolved trauma. So let's get the trauma resolved. Let's get it fixed. And then you don't have to be that victim anymore. For those of you that have already worked through trauma, for those of you that have already worked through things or that maybe didn't have that kind of trauma from childhood, snap out of it and let's focus on the positive, because life is not that long, right? We all know life is short and life is an important moment for us, right? We want to take advantage of it. So let's kick out of this whole victim role that we can find ourselves in. Everybody's been there. I've been there. I used to think, I grew up in a rough area and I don't deserve this or that, and that's why I'm tough and people don't like me and da-da-da, and that's just my role in life. That's nonsense. That's just complete nonsense. My role in life is to be happy and connected and do what's right for myself and my family, my friends and my company and the people I work with and all that. And that's what life is, not this nonsense of I don't deserve to be happy. It's just silly even saying it, right? Some of you guys that have said that to yourselves or maybe say it even lately, it's absurd, right? You don't deserve to be happy, right? Come on. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. That's an easy way to just not do your work. That's what that is. I don't have the energy. I don't deserve to be. It's so silly. So let's get everything handled. Let's kick it off at Rythmia as soon as we open up, and let's blast down the doors and get everybody drinking plant medicine and doing the program and doing the integration and get everybody back on track. So stop being a victim. Snap out of it. And if you have trauma history, let's work on it. I'll help guide you in there, right? When you come to Rythmia, I'll help guide the trauma therapy and I'll help you get focused on what's needed for you. All right? So take responsibility for yourself. Don't blame others. Don't blame your mom. Don't blame your dad. Don't blame your foster family. Don't blame your neighbors. Don't blame your siblings. Don't blame your spouse, your partner. Don't do that. It's weak. It's weak. Don't do that. If you're in an abusive environment, get the hell out. Okay? Get the hell out. It's easier said than done. Believe me, I know. I'm a trauma therapist. I know it's hard to do that sometimes. Let's talk when you get there. If you feel trapped, I can help you. All right? So get down to Rythmia so we can do this work. Look forward to meeting you guys when this whole virus pandemic mellows out. Hope you guys are safe and staying connected. Pura vida. See you guys next Monday. I'm out. Talk to you soon.